Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Tonight we have a very special treat for you. Now y'all know I love comfort food. That is what Southern food is all about, right? It's comfort food. When I think of comfort food, I think about my mama's chicken and dumplings. I think about fried chicken, collard greens. I mean, you name it. Southern food is comfort food. But we can't eat like that every day, right? So my mission this year is to rethink the way that we look at our food. I am still all about celebrating Southern food, and I always will keep a healthy balance and share with you some tried and true traditional recipes that maybe not are always very healthy. I'm a big proponent of the 80-20 rule, that if you do right 80% of the time and then fudge just a little bit on 20% of the time, then you're going to be okay, especially if you're just trying to maintain a weight loss or a healthy lifestyle. So we're not going to just like bombard you with healthy recipes, but we do want to show you how easy it is to take your recipes and rethink your ingredients so that you can make them healthier. And tonight's recipe is a perfect illustration of that, and it's a lighter and healthier chicken pot pie. So this is a casserole type dish, so you can see what I'm doing right here. So we're not gonna swap overhead, we're just gonna film, and I'll do my best to kind of show you what all we're doing. So chicken pot pie traditionally is a very heavy, soul-warming dish, and we're not going to stray too far away from that. We're just going to make some healthy substitutions that make it where, you know, if you want to eat leftovers the next day, you don't have to necessarily worry about that interfering with your 80-20 rule. So we start off with 2 cups of cooked, pulled or diced chicken, and this can be leftovers. I'm a huge proponent of taking what you have left and turning it into something else, and that's what we've done here. I had cooked some chicken earlier and didn't use it all, and I had just enough left for this casserole, so I pulled it apart, kind of rough chopped it up, and I've got it in a big mixing bowl. So to this we are going to add 1 cooked, washed, peeled, cooked, diced sweet potato. And I keep sweet potatoes all the time. They are an extremely healthy way to get that little something sweet that you might need. They're a little higher on the glycemic index, but if you eat them in moderation, I mean, it's fine. And to this, we are going to add 2 cans of light or low fat, low sodium cream of mushroom soup. So we're gonna add those in, and I may have to get a spoon. Those both go right in. Yeah, let me grab a spoon. You're gonna see me move around a lot because I normally do this off camera. And then, so those are low sodium. Sodium plays a huge part in retaining of fluid and inflammation. Not to mention if you have hypertension or other health issues, sodium is like the silent bad thing. So you'll hear me often say to be careful with your sodium. I tend to under-season my food because I don't know what dietary restrictions other people may have. So when I tell you salt and pepper to taste, do that not only according to taste, but according to your dietary restrictions as well. So to continue with the creamy chicken pot pie, yummy flavor that you would ordinarily get by adding like mayonnaise, and mayonnaise is fine. Mayonnaise is actually a healthy fat, but not in large quantities. So this ingredient, I use this a lot. You'll see me put this in place of mayonnaise a lot of times because it is protein packed and it is not as high in fat. And this is unsweetened, low fat, not no fat, low fat Greek yogurt. So we're going to put a 1/2 cup of that in here with these guys. And then I'm just gonna give that a good little mix. And that sweet potato is good and cooked, so it's gonna help the soups and the yogurt create that creamy texture without adding adding some sweet to it like you would ordinarily get in a chicken pot pie. So that's kind of a secret ingredient too. Now, the vegetables. The vegetables are a very important part of chicken pot pie, but don't overthink this. You'll hear me say fresh is always best, but if you can't get it, you can't get it. And these 88 cent bags of frozen vegetable mixes are fantastic. And we're gonna put a whole one of those in there. And I chose like this California style mix because it has broccoli and cauliflower. It does have carrots in it as well, but be creative here. This is where you can make this recipe fit what you like, and oftentimes that might be one with peas in it if you are a pea fan and like that traditional pot pie taste. But the vegetables that I chose kind of help keep this, you know, easy on the waistline, and you're not losing a ton of flavor either. You're really not losing anything at all. All right, so we got that all mixed up. And then we're just gonna lightly season it with a little fresh black pepper. And let me grab my salt. And I am going to be using this pink Himalayan salt. Pink Himalayan salt is very good for you. And you don't have to use as much because it's highly concentrated on flavor. So if you like the salt flavor but don't like all the salt, then pink salt's the way to go. So we're just gonna mix those up. Meanwhile, I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. So we're gonna take our casserole dish and we're gonna lightly just spray it with nonstick spray and then pour in our pot pie filling. Now, the great thing about this recipe is that you can do this in individual servings as well. It also freezes well. You could bag this up just like it is and thaw it and have it for later. So if you make the whole recipe and you don't need the whole recipe, fill up a couple of ramekins for just however much you need at that time and then pop the rest in the freezer. It'll stay good for probably 1 to 3 months. I would just keep an eye on it. All right, so we've got that good and spread out. Now, I know what you're thinking. What are we gonna put on the top? It's not gonna be biscuit dough. I have no problem with biscuit dough. I love making biscuits. Biscuits are wonderful, but today we're talking about staying within that 20%. So this topping, you can substitute. You can substitute something else, or I challenge you just to try it because you might like it. And the texture you get is really just the same. So we have some phyllo dough. I'm just not real sure how you pronounce it, but it's the thin crepey sheets of dough that you get normally in the freezer section at the grocery store. So we're gonna roll that out and then I'm gonna peel off about 8 sheets. Now normally when you work with phyllo dough, you've got to keep it some moisture to it. But we're gonna be doing this so quickly, it just does not matter. So I'm gonna grab about 8 sheets of it. All right, there we go. And then I'm gonna just wrap the rest of it back up. And I keep this in the freezer. It keeps well and it thaws fast. So this will go back into the freezer. I wrap it up real good with some cling wrap and it'll go back into my freezer to use for later. And this is a really good topping for all kinds of different things. So we are going to roll these 8 sheets up into a tight little roll. Move that out of the way. Just like that, almost just like they were in the package. We've just taken out what we needed and rolled it up into a tight little roll. Then I'm gonna just take my knife and just cut some nice little ribbons. They don't have to be perfect, but this just creates a little curly Q and will be the perfect topping for our chicken pot pie. So now I'm just going to take my fingers and just loosen all those up, those little rolls, kind of spread them out. And you can do this in a bowl. Y'all know I just don't like to wash dishes, so I'm repurposing my cutting board here. All right, so now I've got them all separated, and that made a good little bit. So we take that same spray, and I like using olive oil spray or avocado spray, and then we're just going to lightly spray them and mix them up with our hands one more time. And then we're going to take them and lightly just sprinkle that over the top of our pot pie. And I'll move this up where you can see it. So you can just totally dump those right in the middle and then adjust as needed. So we just spread them out, and y'all, they cook up beautifully. I mean, and they're nice and they're crunchy and they're done, and they won't burn. So the phyllo dough is really like the perfect thing to top this with if you are, you know, trying to watch what you do. So again, we're going to take that spray and carefully spray the top, because we want the top to brown really well. All right, so this will go into our 375 degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. See, it's so pretty. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven, and then we'll be back to show you the finished product of how you can get beautiful, wonderful chicken pot pie and not have to feel guilty about it. So y'all stay with us. All right, everybody, we are back. We have finished a 20 to 30 minute cook time, and I actually did turn my broiler on just a bit, just to evenly brown the top of this. You don't have to. They're already cooked fine, and they're crispy and yummy and all the things, but I like to have a little color on mine just because, you know, a lot of the time we kind of trick our brains. So it feels more like a traditional pot pie when you have that brown top. It is fresh out of the oven, and y'all, my house smells delicious. Look how pretty. Is it just not gorgeous? And it looks like pot pie, because it is pot pie. It's just a healthier choice of pot pie. So I'm gonna dip some up and show you. And even though we used frozen vegetables, a 20 to 30 minute cook time is enough. I mean, it is. If you wanted to, you could totally steam those in the microwave and have them cooked if you're not comfortable doing it frozen. But either way, it'll work just fine. You really, the chicken is cooked. There's no eggs in this, so you're really just heating it through. Oh, listen to that. Wait, let me get the microphone close. You hear that crispy, yummy topping? Y'all, you're just not gonna miss anything with this. It's piping, steaming hot. It's delicious, wonderful, comfort food, but not hard on the waistline. You got wonderful chunks of chicken in there and all those wonderful, tasty vegetables. And I can put my fork through them and they come out just fine. Just a 20 to a 30 minute cook time. And you have all the traditional textures that you normally would have for a regular pot pie. You have the creaminess, the crispiness, everything that your heart desires, but a lot better for you. So I hope this shows you that with just a few small substitutions, that don't take away from the flavor or the integrity of the dish, that you can make things like this and nobody will miss a thing, and you'll come out healthier and better for it, and you probably won't feel as heavy and as lethargic as you would if you had eaten a traditional pot pie. So we hope that you try this and you love it just as much as we do. We also hope that you'll stick around with us. April has been a fantastic month. We've been all about balance. We've had some healthy things and we've had some not so healthy things. Either way, we just want you to get in the kitchen and fall in love with cooking again, or fall in love with cooking the first time. And we hope that the Buttered Home can help you do that. So we have a lot of exciting things for May. May is going to be full of healthy, wonderful dishes that shows you the freshness of the season and how to get the most from your produce market or your garden and eat really well, all while not overfilling yourself or watching your waistline. So, as always, this recipe, like all of our others, can be found at thebutteredhome.com. We would love for you to give our website a visit. We work very hard to produce this content for you, so a visit to our website is an easy, free way that you can pay us back, and all of our recipes are there with a free printable recipe card. No paying for anything. Second of all, if you're not already, make sure that you're following us on all of our social platforms. We have a lot of fun, and we would like for you to join in on that fun with us. And as always, if you want all of our videos in one organized, easy place, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and you will be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Y'all, it's been a fantastic April. Wasn't it Christmas 2 weeks ago? This year is flying by. But we have tons of great recipes to share with you for the rest of the year, and we're really excited to do that, and we hope that you'll stick around with us to do that. So as usual, from the Buttered Home to your home, we love y'all. Bye.